let's talk Deion Burks. Uh, I mean, did a ton of people know who Burks was before the season? Not necessarily. We did on the show, of course, but he is a stud. And like when I say everyone wants him, I mean like everyone wants him. The list of names that I have here of schools that have reached out to him is absurd. I'll go through them and then we can talk about where the best fits are. Louisville, Texas, Miami, USC, Auburn, Utah, Washington, Oregon, Michigan. Big time names. Big time names. So, uh, personally, I think Louisville would be a really good spot. A little Jeff Brom action. I think that'd be a good spot. I think Washington would be a really good spot for him. I think Michigan would be a good spot for him. USC would be a really good spot for him. I think Auburn would be a really good spot. If they bring in a nice quarterback there, I mean, Hugh Freeze has a good history of developing wide receivers. I think that'd be a pretty solid spot. One that's not on here that I'm surprised isn't on here is Ole Miss. I'm surprised that they haven't reached out to him at all. They got a pretty good set of receivers though in that building. But yeah, any other thoughts on those potential landing spots?
I think
And how does
Louisville
this
would be
hurt? And how does this hurt Purdue?
that's another thing. Like Purdue is not like Ohio State. They lose Julian Fleming. We just talked about him. They can recover. They'll be okay. I'm not too worried about that wide receiver room. But this is one that hurts for Purdue, a team where you only had a couple bright spots, right? Hudson Card, Burks, and some other players. That's tough. That's tough. And I trust Ryan Walters to get that defense right eventually. But Deion Burks is a playmaker, and obviously comes. You see it. Everyone wants him. The best teams, the best wide receiver teams in the country want him pretty badly. You mentioned Louisville. Jeff Brom would be a really nice fit. Obviously, he recruited him there to Purdue. I believe Jamari Thrash is gone next year, and he'd be a guy that could come and step in right away. And just obviously, I think he's more of a slot guy or maybe shifty, not quite the X receiver that Jamari Thrash is, but Burks would be just a super good fit there with Louisville.
Yeah, I agree. Dude, he can go anywhere, I think, and be successful. He's what a redshirt sophomore or redshirt freshman.
A red shirt sophomore. Yeah, this was his redshirt sophomore year. So he'll have, I guess, 2 years more of eligibility if he wants it, if he needs it. But yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna be solid, dude. He is going to be a solid player and an immediate contributor for a contending team in whatever conference.
I do think Texas is an interesting one. They're probably going to lose A.D. Mitchell and Worthy and Whittington, I believe, is out
Whittingham.
of eligibility, or maybe he's one more year left. With some of those older guys, they
I
have
don't
like
know. He's been there
eligibility
forever,
year and red
though.
shirts. But you never know with eligibility in college football.
Yeah.
And then obviously the tight end's gone, Sanders. So there's a lot of touches to be had there. And why would you not want to go to Sark in Texas in that offense? USC is an interesting one, although it's still just a really crowded room. I don't see it getting much less crowded. And not that Deion Brooks doesn't like the competition there, but if you have your pick of places, Texas, Florida State, Purdue, I'm sorry, Louisville and Miami seem to be, really, really good spots for him to end up in.
I agree 100%.